My name is James, and I'm the director of Royal Northern Symphonia. I thought we'd take the opportunity to look ahead to 2023-24. So I thought we could talk to Dinesh, our principal conductor, and Maria, our leader, about what's to come. Are there any particular projects that you're looking forward to? If I could come to you first.
Yes, I'm unbelievably excited that we're going to do the Oratorio Paradis und die Peri, which many musicians even don't know. And sometimes I tell friends about it and they've never heard about it. It's a criminally underplayed piece of music, and I think probably some of the best music ever written. And I really don't say that lightly. There was a time when we were both completely obsessed with it. Yeah. And it's played such a personal part in both of our lives, I think. So, and even before we somehow ended up at the Sage, we were talking about how amazing it would be to do it together. Yeah. So that will be unbelievably special. And not to give too much away, but I really do believe that that's one of the best things Schumann ever wrote. For and sure. There is not a bar that's out of place, not a bar that's without passion and without invention. It's unbelievably inventive, but it's also not unapproachable in any way. So I would really encourage everybody to, come and drop everything and come to that concert, because it's going to be unbelievable. We've also got some wonderful soloists for that.
Yes, Louise Alder singing Peri will be really special. I think every time I've thought about this piece, I thought she would be amazing at this. And so I'm so happy that she's coming. And Andrew Staples singing the role of the narrator is also fantastic. He'll have just done it at the proms, and he's done it many, many times. And so we have a really amazing lineup of soloists, which will make it very special. And it's, as Maria said, is a perfect piece of music. It's so poetic and beautiful and moving and sad and happy, and ends in this incredible climax. And I think it's really, really thrilling to listen to.
So it really should be at the top of everyone's list.
Yes. Absolutely, I think it'll be life-changing.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Anybody who
I think Simon Rattle has said it. It's a real masterpiece that people don't know, and there aren't many like that.
There's not much undiscovered rap.
No, and especially with real masterpieces. I mean, we're talking sort of on the level of the great choral works, like the Verdi Requiem or the Mozart Requiem or the Missa Solemnis. It's on that level. But no one knows it. So to have an undiscovered masterpiece by now is really unusual. Of course, it's been discovered by many conductors have done it, but it's still, most music lovers don't know it. And that's the opportunity to hear a great piece like that for the first time live is something that we shouldn't take for granted, because you always hear this stuff, you just sort of know it and you've heard it many times. But to hear a masterpiece like that and you hear it for the first time in a concert, it's really special.
And you mentioned about the chorus, and obviously the chorus celebrate their 50th birthday this year as well. That's a really important milestone for them. You're working with them on the Bruckner Mass and the Schumann, but we also have Stephen Layton coming to work with them with Mozart Requiem and the Messiah. So it's a really, really great year for them in terms of the projects they'll be involved with too. Maria, we talked about directing. Are there any sort of directing highlights that you want to draw out from next year for you?
Absolutely. I'm really excited that Timothy Ridout, one of my favorite violists and a very good friend as well, is coming to play with us. We're going to play the Mozart Sinfonia Concertante, which probably doesn't need any advertising.
It's one of my favorite pieces of all time, so I'm really looking forward to it.
It never gets old.
Yeah.
And that whole program will be very exciting. I'm really, really, really glad that he could make it. He's unbelievably in demand and busy, so we're happy to have him. And I'm also really looking forward to working with Angela Hewitt, who's coming to play Mozart with us.
That's going to be a really exciting week as well, I'm sure. Dinesh, we talked about Schumann already. It's actually a big focus for your work with the orchestra in the season. We've got some great artists coming and some unknown repertoire as well, including a world premiere of a new commission by Cassandra Miller.
Yes, which is very exciting because Cassandra Miller is now one of the leading composers of today, and she's constantly more and more in demand, and it's so great that we've got this world premiere in September, and pairing pieces by really exciting young woman composers with the Schumann symphonies I think it will be really fascinating, because the pieces are all really special and bring something to the programs, and also all the Schumann symphonies are paired with concertos by some of his contemporaries, like Mendelssohn, Dvorak, Beethoven, and Brahms. And I think we have an incredible lineup of soloists coming, and I think it's so great to have these sort of amazing concertos played by people like Elizabeth Leonskaya, Christian Tetzlaff, Stephen Isserlis, and Sunuk Kim. I think this is a really special lineup of soloists, all of whom actually individually are really connected to Schumann, even though they're not playing Schumann here. But it's quite interesting that they play a lot of it and love it and are known for their interpretation. So it's nice that they're coming to play pieces by friends of Schumann or people in his constellation.
And some people at home and in the wider audience might not know the Schumann symphonies. Why do you think they should come and have a listen next year?
I think they're really great pieces. I think they're ideally suited to our orchestra in a way that they're not so suited for a symphony orchestra. Schumann writes in a very particular way, and I think the way he writes means that a lot of the people are playing a lot of the time, which makes the symphony sometimes, when you hear it with a big modern symphony orchestra, quite hard to understand what's going on because it's just so busy. Whereas with this size of orchestra and with our kind of players who are really attuned to period instrument practice, but also the liveliness of the music, I think we can make these symphonies speak in a way that is much more like Schumann had intended, and I think they come alive in a way that most people probably don't experience. And I think they're really thrilling and unusual and completely sort of fascinating as a cycle of symphonies. And again, like, it's great to hear a repertoire that maybe you're less familiar with, because especially when it's great like this, you get to know something different. And I think Schumann, like, his music was just like him. It's impulsive and it's sometimes violent, sometimes really happy, sometimes really sad. And these kind of range of emotions and impulses transposed for a full orchestra makes the music really amazing to witness, I think.
There's a lot to look forward to in that series alone, absolutely. Yeah. And we were talking earlier about the visiting orchestras that are going to be here next year. It's a big part of the classical program. We were reflecting that actually the OAE coming with Andras Schiff is a really exciting moment.
Yeah, I think that's amazing to have someone like Andras Schiff coming to play, and with the OAE, who's are fantastic musicians. And also to have the Philharmonia with Santu. It's a really good program of visiting orchestras, so it's exciting that they're all coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're a big part of the Bruckner weekend as well. Obviously, we have the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra, the Halle, and the BBC Scottish Symphony Orchestra joining for Symphony 7, 8, and 9. So
yes, and we're doing the third mass, so this is a big celebration of Bruckner for all the Bruckner fans out there in the world. It's a big reach. We're, I think, probably the only people in the UK doing a sort of big Bruckner festival, so that's exciting.